day po, sir. Ako po si Hazel Joy S. of Presensya. At ang gagawin ko po ngayon, magdidiscuss po ako about sa rules po ng softball. Rule number 1 to 4. So, rule number 1, definitions. So, ang rule number 1, meron siyang 1 to 105 section. So, section 1, altered bat. So, yung altered bat, a fly or cone grip attached to a attached to the bat is considered an altered bat. Second, appeal play. So, ang appeal play is a live or dead ball appeal is a play or situation on which an umpire cannot make decisions unless requested by a manager, coach, or player of the non-offending team. Section 3, ball compression. Ball compression is the load force in kilograms pound requires to the compressed of a softball when measured in accordance with the ASTM or American Society for Testing and Materials test method for measuring compression displacement of softballs. 4 is a ball section ball core. The coefficient of restitution of a softball when measured with the ASTM test method for measuring the coefficient of restitution of softball. So, yun yung ball core. And the section 5, baseline. A baseline is a direct line between bases. Section 6, base on balls. A base on balls occurs when 4 pitches are judged by the plate umpire to the balls, including illegal pitches. The batter is awarded first base. So, number 7, base path. So, yung base path is a direct line between a base and the runner's position at the time a defensive player is attempting to tag a runner. So, section 8, bat ball. A bat ball is any ball that hits the bat or is hit by the bat and lands either in fair or foul territory. No intention to hit the ball is necessary. So, section 9, batter is an offensive player who enters the batter's box with the intention of aiding his team to score runs. He continued to be a batter until he is either declared out by the umpire or he becomes a batter runner. So, 10, batter's box. Batter's box is the area to which the batter is restricted while in position with the intention of helping his team to obtain runs. So, section 11, batter runners is a player who has finished a turn at the bat but has not yet been put out or touched first base. Batter order, section 12, is the official listing of offensive players and the order in which members of that team must come to bat. So, section 13, black ball. A black ball is a battled, thrown, or pitch ball that becomes lodged in the fencing or is touched, stopped, or handed by a person not engaged in the game or touches any object that is not part of the official equipment or playing area. So, a thrown ball touching a base coach accidentally is not a black ball. So, section 14, bunt, is a batted ball not swung at but intentionally met with the bat and tapped slowly within the playing field. So, section 15, catch, is a legally caught ball which occurs when the fielder catches a batted or thrown ball with his hands or glove. Section 16, catcher's bat. box. Catcher's box is that area within which the catcher must remain until. So Section 17, charge conference. So a charge conference takes place when offensive conference, the offensive team requests a suspension of play or delays play to allow the manager or other team representative to confer with any member of their team. Defensive conference, the defensive team requests a suspension of play to allow a representative of the defensive team to enter the playing field to communicate with any defensive player, or a fielder leaves his position and goes to the dugout and gives the umpire reason to believe that he received instructions. So, Section 18, chop ball. Hit ball is one at which the batter strikes downward with the chopping motions of the bat so that the ball bounces high into the air. So Section 19, coach, is a person who is responsible for the team's actions in the field, and he represents the team in communication with the umpire and opposing team. A player may be designated as a coach in the event that the coach is absent, or the player is a playing coach. Section 20, crow hop. A crow hop is defined as the act of pitcher who does not push off from the pitcher's plate to deliver the ball. This is an illegal act if the pitcher steps off the pitcher's plate, thereby establishing second impetus. Section 21, dead ball. A dead ball is one that touches any object that is not part of the official equipment or official playing area. Section 22, defensive team. Defensive team is the team in the field. So Section 23, delayed dead ball, is a game situation in which the ball remains alive until the conclusions of a play. When the entire play is completed, if required, the umpire shall rule a dead ball and enforce the appropriate ruling. So Section 24, designated player. Designated player is a starting offensive player who bats in the lineup for the flex player listed in the 10th. So dislodge base, Section 25, is a base displays from its proper position. So Section 26, double play, is a play by the defense in which two offensive players are legally put out as a result of continuous action. So Section 27, dugout, is an area in the dead ball territory designated for players, coaches, bat boys or girls, and official representative of the team only. Ejection from the game. So Section 28, the act of any umpire ordering a player, official, or any team member to leave the game and the grounds for a rule violation for the remainder of the game. So Section 29, fair ball is a legally battled ball which settles or is touched on or over fair territory between home and first base, or between home and third base. Section 30, fair territory, is that part of playing field within and including the first and third base foul lines from home base to the bottom of the extreme playing field fence and perpendicularly upward. So, Section 31, fake tag, is a form of obstructions on a runner while advancing or returning to a base by a fielder who is not in possession of the ball that impedes the progress of the runner. So Section 32, fielder, is any defensive player of the team on the field. Section 33, fly ball, is any ball batted into the air. Section 34, flex player. is the starting player for whom designated player or DP is batting and whose name appears in the 10th positions on the lineup card. So section 35, force out, is an out which can be made only when a runner loses the right to the base which he is occupying because the batter becomes a batter runner and before the batter runner or a succeeding runner has been put out. Section 36, forfeit, is the act of the plate umpire ruling that the game is over by declaring the non-offending offending team the winner. So, section 37, foul ball, is a legally batted ball which settles on foul territory between home and first base or between home and third base. So, section 38, foul territory, is any part of playing field that is not included in fair territory. Section 39, foul tip, is a batted ball which goes directly from the bat to the catcher's hands, goes not higher than the batter's heads, and is legally caught by the catcher. Section 40, helmet. A helmet must have two air flaps, one on each side, and shall be the type that has safety features equal to or greater those provided by the full plastic cap with padding on the inside. Section 41, home team, is the team on whose grounds the game is played, or if the game is played on neutral ground, the home team shall be designated by mutual agreement or by a flip of a coin. The home team shall take the third base, dugout, and play defense first. Section 42, illegal bat. An illegal bat is one that does not meet the requirements of Rule 3, Section 1. So, Section 43, illegal extra player, is one who violates any of the provision of Rule 4 to Section 6. Section 44, illegal pitcher, is a player legally in the game, but one who may not pitch as a result of being removed from the pitching position by the umpire, as a result of defensive charge conference limit being exceeded. Section 45, illegal player, is a player who takes up positions in the lineup either on offensive or defense who has not reported to the plate umpire. So, Section 46, illegal re-entry. Legal re-entry, a starting player returns to the game in a second time after twice being substitute. Section 47, illegal substitute, is a player who has entered the game without being announced to the umpire, or he may be a substitute who has not previously been in the game. Section 48, illegally ball, occurs when the batter hits the ball fair or foul. So, Section 49, illegally caught ball, occurs when a fielder catches a batted, thrown or pitch ball with his cap, mask, glove, or any part of his uniform while it is detached from its proper place. Section 50, an eligible player, is a player who may no longer legally participate in the game because the umpire has removed him. An ineligible player may no longer participate as a player but may continue in the game as a coach. Section 51, ineligible replacement player, is a player who may not enter the game to replace or a player who must leave the game to attend to an injury that has caused bleeding. Yes. Section 52, in flight, describes any bat, thrown, or pitch ball that has not yet touched the ground or some object other than a fielder. So, Section 53, and jeopardy, is a term indicating that the ball is in play and an offensive player may be put out. Section 54, in field, is the portion of the field in fair territory that includes areas normally covered in infielders. Section 55, infielder, is a defensive player including the pitcher and catcher who is generally positioned anywhere near or within the lines of the base paths forming fair territory. Section 56, infield fly. A fair fly ball that can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort when first and second, or first, second, and third bases are occupied before two are out. Section 57 inning is the portion of a game within which the teams alternate on offense and defense, and each where there are 3 outs for each team. So, Section 58, intentional base on balls occurs when the defensive team desires to place that batter on first base without requirements to deliver 4 pitches balls. So, Section 59, intentionally dropped fly ball is a fair fly ball including a line, drive, or bunt with less than 2 outs and a runner on first base, which can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort, and the infielder intentionally drops after it's controlled with a hand or a glove. Section 60 na pala rather, interference. An offensive player or team member that impedes, hinders, or confuses a defensive player attempting to execute a play. Section 61, leaping, is the act of pitchers that causes him to be airborne, or on his initial move and push from the pitcher's plate. Section 62, legal touch, is the action of a fielder in touching a batter, runner, or runner who is not in contact with the base with a ball securely held in his hands or glove. Section 63, legally caught ball, occurs when a fielder catches a batted, thrown, or pitched ball, provided it is not caught in the fielder's cap, helmet, mask, protector, pocket, or other part of his uniform. It must be caught and firmly held in the hands or glove. So, Section 64, line drive, is a ball in flight that is batted sharply and directly into the playing field. Section 65, lineup and lineup card, is the list of players who are currently involved playing offensive and defensive positions in the game, including the DP and flex player, and EPF being used. Section 66, obstruction, a defensive player or team member who hinders or prevents a batter from striking at or hitting a pitch ball. Section 67, offensive player only, is a player in the batting order other than the flex for whom the DP is playing defense. Section 68, offensive team, is the team at bat. Section 69, official equipment, is considered to be any equipment, bats, gloves, helmets, etc., in current use by the defensive or offensive team in the course of play. Section 70, on-deck batter, is the offensive player whose name follows the name of the batter in the batting order. Section 71, on-deck circles, is that area where the on-deck batter may warm up or takes practice swings while waiting his turn to enter the batter's box. Section 72, 1 meter, 3 foot, is the area that last half distance between home and first base, where a batter runner and batter runner must run to avoid being called out for interfering with a thrown ball from the home plate area, or with a fielder's attempt to take such a throw while running to first base, in which the offensive coach or manager is given the choice of taking the enforcement of the illegal action or the result of the play. Such options include catcher obstruction, use of an illegal glove, an illegal substitution, an illegal pitch, an illegal pitcher return to game, and pitching a female batter on a 2-out walk. Section 74, outfield, is that portion of the field that is outside the diamond formed by the baselines or the area not normally covered by an infielder, and with the foul lines beyond first and third bases and boundaries of the grounds. Section 75, overslide, is the act of an offensive player when as a runner he overslides a base he is attempting to reach. It is usually caused when his momentum causes him to lose contact with the base, which then causes him to be in jeopardy. Section 17, overthrow, is a play in which ball is thrown from a fielder to another, resulting in the ball. Section 77, pass ball, is pitch that should have been held or controlled by the catcher with ordinary effort. So, Section 78 is the pitch is the act performed by the pitcher in delivering the ball to the batter. Section 79, pitcher circles, is the area within 2.44 meter or 8 feet of the pitcher's plate. The lines are considered within the circle. Section 80, pivot foot, is that foot with which the pitcher pushes off the pitcher's plate. Section 81, play ball, is the term used by the plate umpire to indicate that play shall begin or be resumed when the pitcher holds the ball and is within the pitcher's circle. Section 82, pre-game meeting, is a meeting that held at the home plate area at a predetermined time between the umpires and the head coaches or managers or team representatives of the respective teams. Section 83, protest, is the action of a defensive or offensive team objecting to the interpretation of application of playing rule by an umpire or the eligibility of a team roster member. Section 84, quick return pitch. A quick return pitch is one made by the pitcher with the obvious attempt to catch the batter off balance. This would be before the batter takes his desired position and the batter's backs, or while he is still off balance as a result of the previous pitch. Section 85, re-entry, is the act of any of starting players returning to the game after being legally or illegally substituted. Section 86, removal from the game, is the act of the umpire declaring player ineligible for further participation in the game other than as a coach as a result of an infraction of the rules. Section 87, replacement player, is a player required to enter the game for a defined period of time to replace a player who must leave the game to attend to an injury that is causing bleeding. Section 88, runner, is a player of the team a bat who has finished a turn at bat, reached first base, and has not yet been put out. Section 89, slap hit, is a ball that has been stuck with a controlled short chopping motion rather than with a full swing. Section 90, squeeze play, is a play in which the offensive team with a runner on third base attempts to score that runner by means of the batter contacting the ball. Section 91, starting players, are the players listed on the official lineup given the umpire-in-chief and or the plate of umpire. Section 92, stealing, is the act of running attempting to advance during or after a pitch to the batter. Stealing is not allowed in the slow pitch. Section 93, strike zone. The strike zone is that space over any part of home plate between the batter's armpits and the top of his nest when he assumes his natural batting stance. Section 94, substitute, is a player listed on the official lineup card who is a non-starting player who has not been in the game other than as a replacement player. Section 95, tagging up, is the action of a runner returning to his base or remaining on his base before he legally advances on a fly ball that is first touched by a fielder. Section 96, team member, includes any person authorized to sit on the team bench. Section 97, temporary runner, is a player who may run for the catcher of record from the preceding half inning who is now on the base with 2 out. Section 98, throw. A throw is the act performed by a fielder when throwing the ball to another fielder. Section 99, time. Time is the term used by the umpire to order the suspensions of play during which the ball is dead. Section 100, trap ball. Is a legally bathed fly ball or line drive that hits the ground or a fence prior to being caught. Or Section 101, triple play. Triple play is a continuous action play by the defense on which 3 offensive players are put out. Section 102, turn at bat. Turn at bat begins when a player first enters the batter's box and continues until the batter is put out or becomes a batter runner. Section 103, wild pitch is a pitch so high, so low, or so wide of the plate that the catcher cannot or does not stop and control it with ordinary effort. Section 104, wild throw is a play in which a ball is thrown from one fielder to another and cannot be caught or controlled, is not blocked and remains in play. Section 105, the last one, withdraw player. Is a player forced to leave the game line up in accordance with the replacement playing ruling. Rule number 2, the playing field. So, Section 1, meron siyang section 1 to 4 ang rule number 2. So, Section 1, the playing field. So, the playing field, a ball is considered outside the playing field when it touches the ground, person on the ground or object outside the playing area. So, section number 2, ground or special rules establishing the limits of the playing field may be agreed upon by leagues or opposing teams whenever backstops, fences, stands, vehicles, spectators, or other obstructions are within prescribed area. So, section 3, if during the game the base distance or the pitching distance is found to be at the wrong distance, correct the error at the start of the next full inning and continue playing the game. So last is section 4, diamond layout. Refer to drawing showing official dimensions of softball diamond in appendix 1A, ball diamond. So you have rule number 3, equipment. So meron siyang section 1 to 9. First is section 1, the official bat. Mating components must have a unique locking key to prevent uncertain equipment combination in the field. Section 2, warm-up bats. Bat must be of one-piece constructions and it shall comply with the safety grip and safety knob requirements of the official bat. Section 3, the official softball shall be a regular, smooth, concealed, stitch or flat surface ball. Section 4, gloves and mitts. And any player may wear a glove, but only the catcher and first baseman may use mitts. Section 5, shoes. All team members must wear shoes. A shoe shall be considered official if it is made with either canvas or leather uppers or similar materials and is fully enclosed. Section 6, protective equipment. All catchers must wear mask, throat protector, and helmet. Equipment on playing field is not part of the official equipment shall not be left lying on the playing field in the either fair or foul territory. So section 8, uniform. All players on a team shall wear uniforms alike in color, trim, and style. Reference to coaches. Uniform is found under Rule 4, Section 1B. Last one, Section 9. All equipment not Withstanding the foregoing, the ISF reserves the right to withhold or withdraw approval of any equipment which is the ISF's sole determination, significantly changes the character of the game, affects the safety of participants or spectators, or renders a player's performance more a product of his equipment rather than his individual skills. So, sa rule number 4 na tayo, the last. Rule number 4, coaches, players, and substitutes. So, ang rule number 4, meron siyang section 1 to 13. So, dito sa section 1, coaches. The head coach is responsible for signing the lineup card. Coaches must be neatly attired, including the wearing of suitable footwear or dressed in team uniform in accordance with the color code of the team. If coaches wears a cap, it must be approved headgear. Caps are mandatory for male coaches. Section 2, line-up cards in rosters. Unofficial line-up cards are to be completed and submitted to official scorer and the plate umpire at the start of each game. Section 3, players. All teams shall consist of players in the following positions. Fast pitch 9 players, and pitchers F1, catchers F2, first baseman, second baseman, third. Section 4, starting players shall be official when the lineup card is inspected and approved by the plate umpire and team representative at the pre-game meeting. Section 5, designated player, referred to as a DP, may be used as a batter for any defensive player provided it is made known prior to the start of the game and his name is entered on the lineup sheet as one of the 9 hitters in the batting order. Section 6, extra player, SP only, referred to as an EP, is official but if one is used, it must be made known prior to the start of the game and the player's name listed on the lineup card as one of the 11 hitters in the batting order. Section 7, re-entry. Any of the starting players may be substituted and re-enter once provided such players occupying the same batting position whenever they are in the lineup. Section 8, substitutes illegal player. Substitute illegal player may take place of a player whose name is in his team's lineup. The following regulations govern player substitutions. Section 9, disputed calls. Any team member disputing any judgment decisions by an umpire will constitute a team warning. Any repeat offense shall result in the ejection of the team member. Section 10, dugout conduct. Coaches, players, substitutes, or the bench personnel shall not be outside the designated dugout area except when the rules allow or when considered justified by the umpire. Section 11, replacement player. In the event of any player bleeding during the game, the player must be withdrawn from the game if the bleeding cannot be stopped within a reasonable length of time or his uniform becomes covered with blood. Section 12, temporary runner. Is illegal for a catcher of record from the previous half inning who is on base with 2 out. Last is the section 13, violation and penalties. Team members shall not make disparaging or insulting remarks to or about opposing players, officials, or spectators, or commit others act that could be considered unsportsmanlike conduct. So, in the event of the head coach is ejected from a game, he shall submit to the umpire the name of the person who is to assume the head coach the duties for the remaining of the game. So, that's all. Thank you and God bless po, sir. Keep safe po.